In this video lecture, let's answer a question: why is Internet a packet switched network? You may not have heard the phrase packet switched network, but this is a very useful and important concept that will help you in understanding how the Internet works. Before we talk about the packet switch network, let's talk about a familiar everyday example to learn a few important concepts. Let's say you own a restaurant and this restaurant has a few tables. In this example, we have 4 tables. And as the owner of the restaurant, you have to decide whether you are going to allow customers to call and reserve tables or not. So what you are considering is 2 types of services. One is walk-in service, where if a customer arrives, each customer, as they come in, they will be assigned a table. So the first customer gets a table, and then as the customers continue to arrive, they will be seated at the tables. And if all the tables are being used, because enough people arrive to utilize the table, you will not have tables left for the next person who comes into the restaurant for service. So this person will have to wait until one of the tables becomes free, and then they will be able to utilize it. Let's say the first person who came in or the second person leaves, and then this table might get assigned. The second type of service is you are reserving seats. So somebody calls ahead and says that I'll be there, so hold on to this table. So you're holding on to this table. While you are doing that, let's say people arrive and you start assigning the tables to them, and at some point you are going to run into a situation where you may have a table available. There's a fourth person now who arrives, but you are not able to assign a table to them, even though there is a table available, because you have reserved it for a person. And the actual person who did the reservation might arrive a few minutes later, and when they arrive, they get the table without having to wait because they did a reservation. So the advantage in doing this is that you are providing a guaranteed service to the customer. You are guaranteeing an amount of wait time to the customer, which they don't have to wait beyond a minimum amount of time. While the disadvantage is you are not utilizing your tables to the maximum benefit of the business. So there are variations in terms of how long you will hold the table that you could play with, but you should get a sense of what this means with respect to your business benefit and the customer service. Similarly, you could think about a network having a resource, and I'm just going to use a pipe to represent the network, and you have a sending node and a receiving node which are trying to utilize this pipe, and we have to make a decision as to whether we are going to reserve the resources in this pipe, or are we going to just individually send messages through the pipe and hope that it gets to the other end. I want to make sure that you understand this pipe is a logical entity. There is no real pipe, and you have a collection of nodes representing the internet with like different paths by which you could go from A to B. Packet switching is a reservationless system where you are every message you have, you take the message and you break it up into smaller packets, and then you send the individual packets one at a time through the network without making any reservations, and that kind of a system is called a packet switched network. And the advantage, as we talked about a little bit ago, is that you tend to utilize the available resources efficiently, while there might be some difficulties in terms of the message getting the right service. While a circuit switched network, what we do in that is, so circuit switched is basically a reservation based system. So there is a establishment phase during which resources are reserved for a set of messages, and then the data itself is transmitted through the network, and then you release the resources that you were holding on for this particular communication. So this is a circuit switched network, and the advantage here, like we talked about in the restaurant, is that a customer gets a guaranteed service when you use a circuit switched network, while the utilization of the network is high when you use a packet switched network. And because the internet is a high demand network, there is a lot of people trying to utilize the resources. The packet switched network's advantage of higher utilization ends up being a very good thing for the scalability of the network, and that's why the internet is a packet switched network.